Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how to sound more jazzy. Sounding jazzy can be complicated, but really there's just two main ideas that you really need to nail down, and those are chromaticism and superimposing. Today we're going to be more talking about chromaticism and some basic ways that you can start to use chromaticism to sound more jazzy. This video does assume that you have some base knowledge of pentatonics and the cage system or some other system where you understand some form of visualizing chord structures across the fretboard. If you don't have those down or know nothing about that, you can still watch the video, and then I'll have some videos linked of, just some basic pentatonic scales as well as the cage system. As far as basic chromatic notes, what I advise most people to do is just take the pentatonic box and then start to use the notes that you're not using. Something as simple as this. Sounds a little more outside of the normal use of the pentatonic scale. Those kind of licks are great, but for me personally, at a certain point, because I was listening to jazz and studying jazz, I started to hear all these chromatic licks and thought to myself, how can I sound like that? How can I get that sound? And this was the first step for me. So it took my lines from being like this to something more like. Which for me is very legato in my approach, and that's just the kind of player that I am. Now, I still had a lot of learning to do, and that's whenever I got to this idea of targeted chromaticism. And so using ideas like enclosures like this. And that basic idea is where if you picture kind of this A minor shape, each note, what you do is you do a note below, a note above, two notes above, actually, I guess 2 frets above, and then do the note below again, and then the note you're targeting. So you could do like that, or what I did at first was actually just this. And if you add that to the first idea, you can have an idea kind of like this. And then if you add your bluesy language back, or whatever language base that you have, it's always the idea is to combine everything together, use a little bit of this, a little bit of this, kind of sparingly, just like you're cooking. And then you can have something like this. And I still have a lot of work to do on this idea myself. But the biggest point is don't forget to groove and to try to hear the line and just be yourself. You can get lost in too many scales and sounding all crazy and making sure you play as many notes as you can play or sound as jazzy as you can. But to me, none of that matters if you don't sound like yourself. And for me, I'm very much a mix of classical, jazz, blues, rock, metal. And I try to use all of those things when I'm playing. So you'll find me playing ideas with big arpeggio stretches, kind of like Jack Gardner, because I'm really into that kind of sound. And then ending with like a bluesy line like that. And then even playing some of those enclosure ideas. So hopefully these ideas help you today. Again, check out the linked videos. Let me know if you got any questions. Leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.